right, buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive deep into the magical world of Wistoria, wand, and sword. This first episode is a roller coaster of emotions, so grab your popcorn and let's get this show on the road. So, picture this. We're in Urbis Reigarden, the capital of magic. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it is. This place is like Hogwarts on steroids, home to the creme de la creme of the magical world, the Reigarden Magical Academy. Now, imagine a world where magic isn't just cool party tricks, it's everything. I'm talking power, authority, the whole shebang. Magic is what makes the world go round, and if you can't do it, well, let's just say you're in for a rough time. Enter our main man, Will Serfort. Oh boy, where do I even start with this guy? Picture the most unlucky person you know, then multiply that by about 1,000. That's Will. In a school full of budding wizards and witches, our boy Will has got a teeny, tiny problem. He can't use magic. At all. Zip, nada, zilch. It's like being a vegetarian at a barbecue contest. The episode kicks off with a class demonstration, and let me tell you, it's painful to watch. Professor Edward, who's got this whole I'm holier than thou vibe going on, calls Will up to the front. Now, for most students, this would be their time to shine. But for Will, it's like asking a fish to tap dance. The task is simple. Conjure a flame. Easy peasy for any magic user, right? But poor Will is standing there, sweating bullets, trying his hardest to make even a spark appear. The tension in that room? You could cut it with a knife. And just when you think it can't get any worse, in swoops Scion Ulster. This guy is like the magical equivalent of that annoying kid in class who always has to show off. He conjures flames like it's nothing, making Will look even more pathetic in comparison. Talk about adding insult to injury. Professor Edward then goes on this long-winded speech about how magic is the be-all and end-all in their world. It's power, it's authority, it's everything. And there's Will, standing there like a lump, probably wishing the ground would open up and swallow him whole. I mean, can you imagine how he feels? It's like being the only kid at a birthday party who didn't get invited to play games. But wait, it gets worse. After class, Scion and his cronies, Gordon and Lyral, corner Will. These guys are like the magical world's version of high school bullies, and they're laying it on thick. They're calling Will a failure, telling him to quit the academy, saying he's got no place there. It's like watching a pack of wolves circling their prey, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. But just when all hope seems lost, in swoops our girl, Colette Loire. Now, Colette is a real firecracker. She's Will's friend, and she's not about to let these magical mean girls and boys push him around. She shuts those bullies down faster than you can say, abracadabra. It's like watching David take on Goliath, except David is a petite magical girl, and Goliath is a bunch of stuck-up wizards. You go, Colette. Now, here's where things get really interesting. We dive into Will's backstory, and boy, oh boy, get your tissues ready because it's a real tearjerker. See, Will made this adorable childhood promise with a girl named Elfaria. They were going to see the sunset together at the top of the tower. Aw, right? It's the kind of sweet, innocent promise kids make without realizing how tough the world can be. But here's the kicker, Elfaria. She's got magical talent coming out of her ears. She becomes the youngest Magia Vander ever, which is like being the magical world's version of a rock star. Meanwhile, our boy Will is still struggling to light a candle. Talk about your childhood friends growing apart. But Will, he's not giving up. No, siree. This guy's got determination that would make a bull look fickle. He's cooked up this crazy plan to earn credits by fighting monsters in the dungeon. Now, his professor, Werkner, is having a full-on meltdown about this. He's all, "Hey there, fellow. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I wanted to take a quick moment to ask you what you think of this video so far. If you're liking it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now's the perfect time to do it. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date on all my latest videos and updates, and you'll get to see even more awesome content. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, thanks for watching. "Will, you can't use magic. You're gonna get yourself killed." But at the same time, there's this glimmer in Werkner's eye. It's like he sees something in Will that others don't, a potential that goes beyond magic. So, Will's got his sights set on taking down a Baskerville. It's worth 4 credits, which is exactly what he needs to avoid getting kicked out of the academy. It's a do-or-die situation, folks. But those jerks from his class, they've got other plans. Scion, Gordon, and Lyril sneak into the dungeon, planning to steal Will's kill and get him expelled. Talk about playing dirty. These guys are like the magical world's version of that kid who always tried to copy your homework. But here's where it all goes sideways. Instead of a Baskerville, they run into an evil sentinel. Now, this isn't your garden variety monster. This thing is bad news with a capital B. It's like they went fishing for tuna and hooked a great white shark instead. Scion, for all his magical prowess and showing off, can't even scratch it. They're in deep trouble, and it looks like curtains for our not-so-friendly trio. And then, just when all hope seems lost, who should appear but our boy Will? Now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's like in those superhero movies when the underdog finally gets his moment to shine. Will draws his sword, and it's like watching poetry in motion. He's ducking, weaving, striking. It's absolutely insane. This guy who can't use a lick of magic is taking on a monster that even the top students couldn't handle. The best part, Will's not just swinging blindly. Oh no, he's observing, strategizing, using every ounce of his non-magical abilities to find the Sentinel's weak spot. It's like watching a chess grandmaster in action, except instead of chess pieces, he's got a sword and he's facing a monster that could squash him like a bug. And when he finds that weak spot, bam! One perfectly timed sword strike, and that Sentinel is history. Everyone's jaws are on the floor. I mean, can you blame them? It's like watching a guy with no arms win an archery contest. Professor Edward, who was so quick to dismiss Will earlier, can't believe his eyes. Scion and his gang are speechless, probably the first time in their lives they've shut up. And Professor Werkner? He's grinning like a proud papa at a school play. As the dust settles, we learn the truth about Will. He might not have magic, but he's got superhuman strength that would make Superman jealous, observational skills that would put Sherlock Holmes to shame, and sword techniques that can even surpass magic. In a world obsessed with spells and wands, Will's the odd one out, the one and only warrior. It's like he's playing a completely different game and he's winning. The episode wraps up with Will getting his much-needed credits and everyone realizing that maybe, just maybe, there's more to being a hero than just magical ability. It's a total game changer, folks. It's like the whole magical world has been turned on its head. I don't know about you, but I'm pumped to see where this story goes. Will, see what I did there? Make it to the top of the tower. Will he reunite with Elfaria and see that sunset they promised each other? And how will the magical world react to this sword-wielding anomaly? Will they accept him, or will he have to fight every step of the way? And let's not forget about the other characters. What's Scion's deal? Will he become Will's rival, or will he learn to respect our non-magical hero? And Colette. There's definitely more to her story. Plus, we've got Professor Werkner in Will's corner. Could he be the Mr. Miyagi to Will's Karate Kid?